Metaphysics is going to have to be the quote-unquote religion of tomorrow. If it isn't, you're fucked. Totally and absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. We are back. Another installment, another visit with the greatest think tank ever assembled, the Cult of Dangerous Gentlemen. We're here. We're here. We appreciate everybody for tuning in this week and checking in with us as we delve into the absurdity that is the simulation. Oh, before we get started, before we tell everybody why you are in fact in a cult and why that's okay, before we get to that, I just want to check in and make sure everybody had an excellent week. I'm sure we all did. How you brothers doing this week?
I've been shooting and up dibbling all week. It's been a lovely week. Whoa! It's been a great week.
Seeing, that's the way to do it. That's how you move through the week. Shiddly waddly doodly, right through the week. Everything is beautiful. Everything is awesome. And yeah, I've been keeping my ear to the street just a little bit, not a whole lot, but I did hear. I'll check with the owner of Blackness, my dear brother Doobie. Were you aware that the government has admitted to finding aliens in a crashed craft?
Oh yeah, I was aware of that.
You heard about
I've been
that?
I've been keeping up with that too.
Yeah. How did that make you feel? Did that get you excited at all? Did it get you moving around in your seat?
I love you white people, but your cave dog newsery, I just can't always trust. Can't always trust.
Yeah, I can't front. I love how the government is always lying and you can never trust them until they say something that you want to hear and then it's the gospel truth. Just immediately everything switches over. You can watch a politician today in a deposition or whatever they call it, with them hearings and shit, and they'll be like, I did not have sex with that woman. And you'll be like, oh, this motherfucker is lying, bro. It's like, yeah, but he's under oath. So what? He's lying. And then they say, we found non human biologics in a crashed ship. And they're like, see? See? They're finally revealing the truth. Why aren't they lying about that too? Why isn't this just another distraction? Maybe I'm being too much of a skeptic. I said that's not off the table. I could
But
just
why is this being pushed?
because it's the truth, Doobie. It's
But
time to reveal
now
the truth.
now
Yeah,
it's the truth. Like we as far as like we as the people, the not the people in the institution, like we have stories about aliens dating back a long time ago. So we don't need the government to tell
the
us that there's
governments,
aliens on this planet.
the
You know, I'm
governments.
just saying, the government. We don't need them to tell us. But
Yeah,
why are they now saying, yeah, we have this? Is it that they can't hide it no more? Is it that something's happening, something's coming? Like what's the rollout? What's going on here with
I
the
think it's
rollout?
because the last time somebody used a listening device and they pointed it out towards Zeta Reticuli, the only thing that they were able to decipher coming back through the speakers was the intro to Black Sheep's. You can get with this or you can get with that. It was just like, here they come, yo. Here they come. Here they come, yo.
Like
Here
I'm
they
just saying,
come.
instead of telling me like you have aliens and all this stuff, then now is a good time to explain to us, have an in-depth, live television special of what's going on in Area 51. If that's the case, what y'all been doing over there? If that's the case, then I'm interested.
I don't know what they've been doing. I can't front, man. I mean, to be completely honest, I'm just at a stage in my life where a lot of shit going on outside, I just can't. It's very difficult for me to care about. And it's not that I'm putting in the effort to really care. I just don't have the bandwidth. I don't give a shit. I don't believe a lot of the shit that I see on these newscasts and the people that's talking. I don't believe anything any politician says. My homie hit me up the other day and was like, "What do you think about this guy?" And I was like, "I have no clue." They were asking me about the Kennedy guy. What do you think about him?
Yeah, they're pushing him heavy on black people.
Bro, I was like,
Like,
all I know about this guy is he's got a weird voice. I don't know nothing else, and I don't have the bandwidth to find it out. Like, am I gonna go and research a candidate right now? Okay, let me see what he's got to say. Let's hear him out. For what? Uh, in the history. Okay, not even the history. Let's just take in the last 20 years, right? I think that's fair. In the last 20 to 25 years, and I'm gonna ask our brother, our resident Jewish lawyer that we keep on a leash here at the Cult of Dangerous Gentlemen. I'll ask you, in the last 25 years, what percentage collectively do you think politicians, elected officials, have uh, actually carried out what they said they would carry out on their campaign trail? Just all together, all of them put together in one pot. How much of what they said they were going to do have they actually done?
4.38%.
See, you see, this is why we keep them. This is why we keep them around. It didn't take a whole lot of abacus shifting. We didn't need to break out the calculator. No fancy long division. In the last 25 years, and I'm going to say that's gospel. You can test us at this. If you want to make a pie chart or a graph or something like that, come on the show, link us to the pie chart, and walk us through how in the last 25 years, more than 4% of what they said they were going to do, they actually did. Because I'd love to see it, but I trust that figure. I trust that figure. So what incentive do I have right now today to go, you know what? I'm going to check this guy out. I like the cut of this guy's jib. I want to see what's going on. I don't see why it would matter. People said, is it Bernie? Maybe not. Is it Rand Paul? Is it the fucker? Who cares? Who cares at this point? I feel like we're in the movie Speed, right? The bus has to keep going over 55 miles an hour. If it stops, it blows up, right? The bus route is the bus route. I've ridden public transportation in my life before, and I've been on the bus when the shift change happens. And you know what happens? They pull over. One guy grabs his little backpack and his thermos, and he gets off the bus. Another guy gets on the bus. He takes a minute to get settled into the seat. He puts his thermos and his backpack down, and then he starts the bus and he drives it. But the route doesn't change. He doesn't it's on now. It's all up to my imagination where I decide to go. No, we're on a 27 bus, and it's going to make all the same stops that it made yesterday. The driver changed, but the route didn't. And that's how I feel about United States politics. The route's not going to change. The bus driver might change. Yeah, they're going to shift those people around in the seats, but I don't see a reason to believe that anything is going to be any different. For not outwardly, not by what they say or what conversations he's had. I will say he was the first presidential candidate that I've seen go on Matt Hoffa's podcast. So
Bernie had Killer Mike with him. They played this game all the time.
Bernie did have Killer Mike. Hillary carried hot sauce in her purse.
That's what I'm saying.
Joe Biden says you're not black if you don't vote for him.
Nothing new's going on here.
And the Kennedy guy sat down in the barbershop with a battle rapper. Not to disrespect Matt Hoffa, he's more than a battle rapper right now. He's doing very well in media and podcasting, and no disrespect at all to his platform. I respect the brother for what he's been able to do with his energy and with his time. But just the fact that guy went down to sit with you in the barbershop and talk, that doesn't give me any reason to believe that he's any more or less a politician than anybody else. I wouldn't hold it against him if he didn't go. That's not the new standard of whether or not a politician is trustworthy. What battle rapper's podcast did he visit? None? Oh, well, I ain't voting for that guy. So I don't see how it could be a plus on his side. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. It's going to be what it's going to be. And if I'm wrong, let me know. Maybe this guy's a savior. Maybe he's like a usher into a whole new existence for this country. Maybe he's got some big plans, but you know what? I think there was another Kennedy who had some big plans too. Am I right? Am I wrong here? No, that happened, right?
I might have heard of him.
They all, that's their job now. Kennedys have the ability to change things.
You know what? That's interesting. You know what? I'm sure I'm not the first person to bring this up, and it's probably like an old joke at this point. But could that be like something that they might be setting up a play for? I don't know. Does he have a shot right now? Is he even really in the running?
I think he's at like 17%. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. I think to be on the debate, what historically it's been like over 4% or something. If you don't have that much of the out of the polls they look at, that much attention and popularity, they usually don't get to be in the debates. So he if the Democratic side was doing debates, they'd have to give him a platform to hear what he has to say. But Joe Biden's an incumbent, so, but 17% from your own party, I mean, I don't know. That means you're pretty unpopular.
Oh, so that's low. He ain't doing shit then, huh?
Well, no, but what I'm saying is 17%. To be polling at 17% when your party already has the presidency is kind of crazy.
Oh, okay. I got
Because
you.
why would that many people be interested in you running for president? Right? Because
Right.
it's your team, it's your tribe. You already got the presidency. Why wouldn't you run Biden again?
Yeah,
So
that's
to be
true.
primaried as the sitting president, it's kind of, some would say, politically disrespectful. And maybe that's why he's going on Math Hoffa. He's a very, kind of odd sounding dude, but he's like the white version of battle rappers. He's got family members that have been shot. The FBI has been watching him. The CIA arguably, had his
Perfect
family
candidate
members
for black
killed.
people to vote for.
Yeah. He's
Just
basically
to
white
split the
Malcolm
votes.
X.
I don't even see his name in here. Who's Haley?
Look like you're on the Republican side.
Oh,
Yeah,
is that what
Nikki
this
Haley's
is?
a
Oh, I thought
Republican.
this was
Yeah.
everybody. Okay. All polls. That might get confusing. Now that's too much. So let's go Democratic primary. What happened to the graph, bro? I wanted to see the graph. That was cool looking. Okay, here. Poll type. Democratic. They still ain't showing me. See, they fucked it up. Only the Republicans get the cool one. Yeah.
What
yeah.
if we just Google what is the RFK Jr.?
Junior poll?
RFK Jr. polling at 17%.
How many no. Yeah, see? They're getting fancy with it. This says, he's just showing them in different places. 20%, 15%, 13, 12.
He's on the board though.
Yeah, he's definitely on the board, which is interesting. Dude, I mean,
But you can't. The Democrats know they can't push Biden, man. Come on. Weekend at Bernie's can last for so long. You could get 3 movies out of it. That's it. Biden, come on.
I don't know if he'd make it through the first movie.
That's what I'm saying.
he might
Like,
have
you
already
saw,
not made it through the first movie. Like,
You saw what happened to your boy the turtle. I forgot his name, but he just fucking froze.
Oh,
Like,
yo, Mitch McConnell, he had a factory reset.
let me tell you something.
Right there in front of
That was a minor seizure.
But
I'm
don't-
just saying.
No, but doesn't that just say everything about these people? Like,
Yes.
they're already worth hundreds of millions of dollars, but they just can't get their dick out of the pot. They can't bring themselves to do it. Like, I'm gonna fuck every inch out of this shit that I can get. I'm not leaving. I'm clinging to life. I'm
Dirty
clinging to
game.
power. Keep me alive to 130, and I want to keep siphoning off a little bit more. You could go away. Like, you could go and just not be diabolically running shit. You know what I mean? Haven't you made enough? But no, can't do it. Can't bring them to the point that your brain just shuts off. It just says no. We've got nothing left. We're about 108. We can't speak. We're not speaking anymore. And he won't let go.
well, I feel
There's
like
kind of a
somebody
sickness to that.
somebody took off a headset somewhere. Somebody who was controlling his body was like, I gotta go piss. They took off their headset.
That's what the aliens are doing. All of these people, Nancy Pelosi, the brain slugs are here. They're just there was a bad Wi-Fi connection in whatever ship they were flying in.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get the signal to Mitch, and Mitch just
Yeah, somebody was AFK for a few minutes, and Mitch was like, "Fuck, I'm unplugged. There's nothing I can do." But yeah, I think it's just in my head, it's all bullshit. Like, I would never carry that sentiment into a conversation purposely. Like, if I heard people talking about politics, I would never go over there and be like, all this shit's dumb, right? It's just my own personal conclusion that I've come to, is that none of it's worth my time or my energy. And I know a lot of people feel like that removes your ability to comment on shit, or like, if you don't vote, you can't have an opinion. And that's stupid. That's a cult that you're in, and I don't agree with that part of your compendium. So I reject that
but
reality and
still
substitute my
don't-
own.
You could also, not comment and just watch it all burn and just look at them and be like, hey,
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't comment on it. I don't comment on it at all. But every now and then,
I'm not also
somebody,
gonna hear you angrily complain either about both sides.
yeah,
Like, fuck
somebody
out of
every
here.
now and then somebody will bring you something and ask a question about it, and I'm always like, what is it that made, like, what about anything that I'm doing right now made you think that I would be like well versed in any of this shit that's going on? I have no bandwidth for it at all. And that's with a lot of things, to keep it real. I don't have nothing to contribute when people talk about sports either.
And
Yeah.
it's so annoying to go back to politics because like we're the generation where like we saw the trickery. Like if we go back, like we're from Florida. We go back to what's his name when he was Bush and Al Gore, and then you seen that atrocity. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like we fast forward to Obama knowing like he's only gonna win because black people are gonna vote for him regardless, and that nigga talks good. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga talk
So it's
good.
that nigga talk real good. So black people are gonna vote for him regardless. Like the second go around, I'm like, I'm not voting for this. Like, there's no point. There's no point.
Bro,
There's no point.
I just
There's no point. And
I'm
then hate
still
got Trump in. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
allegedly.
all a game. Well, I'm just saying like hate got Trump in and hate got Trump out. Like the people that really hated Obama uh, let Trump get in, right? And then Trump's 4 years, he built up hate against other people, and then those people got him out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just see the facade.
I'm
I just see the facade.
I'm still side eyeing everybody who I grew up with, who I saw, and be anti-government, anti-establishment, all of this shit their whole lives, and then as soon as Obama came, now this was my president, and I was just like, when did Negroes start talking like this?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
ain't never in my life heard a Negro say this is my president or nothing about. I've never been in a group of black folks that I hung out with that spoke actively about voting, about caring about candidates. The most I heard black people talk about politics was saying that George Bush was stupid. That's the only conversation I've ever heard. Oh, and claiming Bill Clinton as black.
Yeah, Black Bill
Yeah,
Clinton.
that definitely
All he
happened.
had to do was play a saxophone, baby, and sing your horse
Play a
show.
saxophone and cheat on his wife. You a nigga.
You in, nigga.
Yeah, you, you nigga die. You smoke some weed too? You definitely black, bro. This is the standard that we had before Doobie took over blackness and started rebranding it. You play a saxophone, you cheat on your wife, you smoke some weed. You a nigga now. You in. You in. You one of us. And before the YouTube red lines get crossed, I can say that word. So don't try to give us no copyright strikes. Don't come with us with no sideways bumba cloud business. I can say that.
Fair use, my youth.
You know what I'm saying? I can fairly use the word nigger. I can do that. But yeah, so I've never heard any political talk from black folks ever in my life until Obama, and then they just jumped on it like they always been on it. They didn't even have enough self-respect to be like, I never cared about politics, but now that he's black, they just skipped
And
over all of that and was
it
like,
it
yes.
unveiled the game to me when Obama came in,
Yep.
because it was like because if you paid attention, let's say the Democrats put out a black person, and then when the black person was done, they try to put out a woman, but that didn't work because nobody wants a woman in charge
Right.
in America.
Right.
But it's like you see the
And
game of
rightfully
cards that they
so.
played.
Rightfully so. Rightfully
You see
so.
the game of cards that they played, and the Democrats did such a good job getting black people in. And it's just so sad that like people like to the point where this man said like you're not black. Like this senile old man has it in his head. It's like, oh, we got these niggas.
Yo, I think if if America elected a female president, as soon as the clock stopped and they were like, all right, all the votes are in, Hillary Clinton is the president, China would have just pushed the button right there. Bro. Shoot a bomb at these motherfuckers right now, bro. Shoot a bomb right now. Like, are we going to declare war? What about the rules of engagement? Fuck that. They got a woman in the White House. Shoot those motherfuckers right now. I think that's what would have happened. I think that's what would happen if we ever elect a woman president. It's insta war.
Women and Jews, bro. They don't want a Jew to be a president either. It's women and Jews. It's I don't know.
I think they done with brown men too. This Ramaswamy guy's been making some rounds. He's catching bodies though. I ain't gonna front. People who be trying him, the people who are trying him are getting served left and right. They're not looking good out here in these streets. He whooping their ass, but he's also has no shot. So there's that. Got no shot. You're too close.
The news should be delivered.
Nah, you're too close to Obama,
this is
bro.
what's going on? You don't have any hope, but this is what happened.
No, you're looking good out there, bro. You're looking good out there. You know what it is? It's like it's like the guy who's gonna fight Mike Tyson, in his prime, and he has his intro to the ring, and the music is dope, and he's looking good. All his color schemes dope. He's got a nice robe on. His gloves are glittering and shit, and he's dancing down the aisle. You're like, yo, he's in good shape. He's looking good. I love the music. He looks confident, but he's about to get knocked the fuck out in the first round. We know what's going to happen, bro. You have no shot. You're looking good out here in these streets. You made the Breakfast Club look like a pack of idiots. But other than that, that's where it ends. That's your highlight reel. You're not going to be president, fam. I'm sorry.
What was with all that hostility?
Yeah, they were mad at him.
That was just embarrassing.
It really was. They were deeply upset with homie. Matter of fact, let me see what's up with that. But I don't know why that unruly woman was talking the way she was talking. She just had a serious bone to pick with son, and he was just beating her ass. And dude said, "I've created."
Oh, he got himself a Breakfast Club interview.
Y'all, you didn't see this, bro?
Oh, son.
Oh my gosh, she was talking all kinds of
Fair
crazy shit.
use.
Yeah, bomba cloud fair use. Don't give me none of this sideways business. See? Hold on, let me throw this up on the screen for a quick second. And yeah, he went on the Breakfast Club, and first of all, it's the Breakfast Club, right? I mean, do we respect their opinions on politics?
Yes.
We do? Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
They're part of the Black Democrat bandwagon.
Oh, okay. All right. So we respect their opinion on politics. So I don't know exactly where it's at because I didn't intend on like really grabbing this, but most of the interview was very like abrasive, and this woman was extremely rude to him, and she didn't have a whole lot to say, in my opinion. She was just talking shit. Hold on, let me.
Civic duty voting proposal, and the reason is, I'll actually make a prediction. I think youth voting in this country will skyrocket after.
Oh, he was saying that he doesn't think people should be able to vote. Teenagers and shit like that, not at 18. You shouldn't be able to vote until you either serve in the military or something like that, or do some kind of civic duty, or
That's fair.
Or if you pass the same test that immigrants have to pass when they become a citizen.
That's fair.
So you should know at least as much about the country as an immigrant coming in, or have some type of service job, and then you can vote. I thought that was pretty sound too. But they looked at it as like, oh, so you don't want black people to vote? I was like, wait, what? Like that's kind of where they went with it a little bit.
Very low level right now. It will skyrocket because you value something you actually have to earn. And I think that this is not a left wing or right wing point. We all have duties as citizens, right? We
See, he sounds great. No chance, but he sounds great. And let me see, where's the woman at?
Your resume off of this country, and you have absolutely not been involved in civics. One, not voting, and two, let me just ask, because I know you mentioned earlier you don't want to sit around at the debate and talk about accomplishments. Let's make the accomplishments pretty simple. In high school, were you ever a class president or take any leadership role? Because your opponent did. Chris Christie, he was the class president. So have you?
This is personal. Sound like this is a personal attack.
Were you your first grade student class president? Do you think you could run the country if you didn't run your third grade kickball team? Who was the captain? Who gives a fuck? Like on a substantive issue, because I'd forgotten how mad this made me. She just kept bringing it back to, you've never served, you've never done anything. You had never even been on, and then she goes on to tell the story. One time in third grade, I raised my hand and I said some shit to the teacher, and I did that. Like, all right, so you thank you for your service?
He's like, yeah, well, I made medicines that save children's lives. I don't care about that.
Right.
I raised my hand.
Oh, well, you didn't do that
grade.
through the government. You ain't shit. That's not government service, sir. You did it for a profit. I'm pretty sure all of the politicians are fucking millionaires.
It's fucking goofy.
Anybody that's been a politician more than 10 years is a multi-fucking millionaire.
You ever taken any leadership at all on anything, or just?
Can I just correct a couple factual things
Sure.
that are kind of important? My parents didn't bring me over to the country. I was born in this country, and I'm proud of that.
No, I know you were born here in
Oh,
Ohio.
he's Tether.
Tethers. He's not
Yeah.
FBA.
Tether.
Anybody involved in my Twitter, I've been called a tether a few times. Please define tethers for those that
that's all
don't
right.
know.
You said your parents brought you over to this country. I
Yeah,
thought I
my
would set that
apologies.
record straight.
I mean, they were immigrants, but let's
They
not
were
go down the
immigrants.
water
Oh, no,
hole.
no.
Hating. They were immigrants, but let's not focus on that.
No. I'm black, so they can't tell.
I'm going to
But
correct
you.
a couple facts, and then the other thing is
You were born here in Ohio.
I was
correct?
born in Cincinnati, Ohio. That's right.
Right. So
Yeah.
you've been here your entire life. So the question
That's
is,
right.
did you take any leadership role in middle school, high school, class president?
I did.
I know you played tennis. What
That
is it?
tells us
Explain it
that
to
he's
me.
going to be a
council,
great
but, you know-
president.
Yeah.
This is the level of discourse. This is
High school.
like, and what he's saying is, look, people are voting, but it's kind of like you don't even know
You're just
what you're
picking a
voting
name.
for. You haven't looked
Just
into
picking a
anything
name.
right.
You don't know
You're
none
just-
of these names. You know, one's on the blue side, one's on the red side. You have not done any research to figure out why
LeBron
am I voting
James
for this
likes
guy.
him. Jay-Z, I think Jay-Z likes her. Jay-Z likes her. She had hot sauce in her bag swag. We have to vote for her.
Shit is
Like
disgusting.
when that's your motivation, so it's perfectly reasonable to say, look, you got to have some skin in the game. If you don't give a fuck enough about the country to either A, I'll go fight for this shit. If we get otherwise, I'll just be fucking around and taking pictures of me holding rifles with bottles of shampoo stuffed up my ass and all the goofy shit that the military does when they're not fighting a war. Yeah, go do that for 4 years. Okay, at least you're invested, you're interested. Or I did the research to kind of understand how this works and why it's a good idea and what's the benefits of it and what's the important things I need to look out for. If an immigrant has to do it to participate, right? So shouldn't you have that baseline level of knowledge? I think that's perfectly reasonable to say, hey, you got to have some sort of investment or skin in the game, or you really don't care enough to do it. Like, you probably shouldn't be involved. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's a poll tax. I don't think it's, hey, read this new Chinese newspaper. No, it's just, do you give a fuck? Are you invested? I think that's reasonable. And her response after that rational point wasn't to pick apart the point, why it doesn't make sense, why we shouldn't do it. Sir, why do you even have an opinion? You weren't the student body class president in middle school. If you weren't that, why do you have that opinion? Like, that's your retort? That's fucking embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
I'm embarrassed for her.
It is. It's horrible.
She's definitely one of those girls that yells that doesn't agree with you and says you probably don't get pussy.
Oh yeah, if you don't want to bang me, you're gay. That's one of those chicks.
No, I think that this is yes, I have held leadership roles over my life, but those don't qualify me to do what I'm doing now.
Yeah,
That's
it kind of
just-
does.
Okay,
Well, it kind of does. Well, I'm giving the test. I'm gonna test
Okay,
administrator.
all right, there you go.
So it kind of does, because when you go from saying I want to go to the highest office,
And I'll tell
of
you,
the land-
I've led companies as well. Is the other leader?
Right,
The
well,
main
right,
leadership
but-
role I've played is and I want to talk about one early part of your premise that I also want to say, to bring it to the country point. The other point, you use the word sitting around. You know, I'm not somebody who's saying I want the next generation, my kids' generation, to have more civic duties when they graduate from high school and college than I did when I did.
Fair use.
That being said, I wasn't sitting around. I've developed medicines, 5 of which are FDA-approved products today, one of which is a life-saving therapy in kids, 20 of whom die by the age of 3 if they're not treated. 70% of whom now live lives
were
of a
you
normal
the
duration.
student body
Another one
class
for prostate
president in
cancer.
middle
So
school?
I don't give a shit about that. Did you raise your hand in 3rd grade?
I don't apologize for making contributions, but
right. Well, I don't want you to filibuster that,
No worries.
because
Just
that's
not
not the
saying-
question that I asked.
Filibuster. She just did this. This was her.
He
She
was
woke up.
speaking.
She woke up like 5 minutes before this interview. Was like, oh
Well,
shit.
to be fair, yeah, that's what
Like-
she said right before we started playing it.
Filibuster.
She said you've been sitting around in the country not doing nothing, and now you want to be president. And he's like, well, to be fair, I wasn't really just sitting around. You know what I'm saying?
I made life-saving medicine. I created that.
Yeah, and she's about to
Medicine
tell
that
you how she
saved
feels about it
lives.
too. She's gonna tell you just how she feels about life-saving medicine for children.
Yes, and I don't consider as a veteran. I'm talking about service. I'm not talking about what you
Civic
did for
service,
profit. I'm not talking about what you paid people to do with
Yeah.
your
So
company.
I've
I'm
not
not talking
served.
about
I've
that
not served the country
because that
in the way
means
you
nothing
have.
to me.
You do
what I'm
realize
talking,
she
what
hasn't
I
been
am
able to ask a question. She's been trying
Go
to ask
for
a
it,
question,
yeah.
and you've been talking over her.
I'm
and
all
you-
ears.
And DJ Envy the Beige Rage is lying right
Fuck
now.
out of here,
He has
bro.
not been
You
talking
know
over her,
she's, but you know her points are horrible. There's no, come on, bro.
but he's got to protect black women. So
we gave you the platform.
needs to
let
watch
you
his
say
uh
all
his
this.
I'm all
his
ears.
case
I
right
was just
now.
correcting.
Yeah.
first of all, let's keep it real. Okay, so you know what? I'm not gonna slander DJ Envy. He's just a goofball.
She hasn't finished
That's
asking
all.
a question yet. Every
Go
time
ahead,
she
Ted,
tries
ask
to
the
ask a
question.
question, you've been cutting her off. Go ahead,
I'm
Ted.
all ears.
Right. So your question. So my question again is: you're trying to your goal is to raise the standard, and you're saying you want people to believe in country, and you want people to have civic engagement. And sir, I just find it very telling that you haven't had any civic engagement at all, and haven't been at all. And when I say sit around, I don't mean you haven't done anything. I'm talking about in regards to service. Because one thing about political office, the same way that you want to change how people look at politics and look at this country, I want to change how people look at politicians. And when I see that someone hasn't did anything at all to be of
She's talking about
service
Trump.
to mankind, to take a leadership
talking
role,
about
it's not
Trump.
good enough to just be on city student council. Were you a leader? All of that applies. Have you been able to get anybody in the room at any time, from a high school gymnasium to Ohio, Republican leadership there to now? Have you been able to get anybody in a room to believe in this vision? I don't agree with a lot of your vision statement, but I do know you've been going around having these discussions and getting everybody emotionally worked up to talk about vision and debate. But I want to get to the practical. You're trying to go from preschool to president of the United States. You're skipping over city council, county council, mayor,
She's like, all these opportunities that you
This
could have
is
had to
horrible.
take bribes and exploit people. You
That's-
ain't been
yeah.
doing none of that shit.
She's talking about
Making
this
some
is
pussy
this is
ass
just
medicine.
like this
Yeah.
is a long talk of Trump, bro. This is just because the way Trump came in, now she's trying to make it seem like, okay, this is what I want for the future. But at the end of the day, man, that doesn't still qualify anybody for anything.
No, look, anybody paying attention knows the worst thing the person can be is a politician. Like we know
Exactly.
what our politicians are. Oh, you're the people that covered up for Kennedy getting killed. Oh, you're the people that have all gotten net worths of like tens of millions, hundreds of millions, and everything in the country is declined, but you've gotten wealthier. You know what I mean? It's like people complained, oh, they crashed the banks and they got golden parachutes. Congress keeps giving themselves raises. They keep having incredible luck stock picking. Incredible luck. Unbelievable luck. And people just want to do nice stuff for them. Hey, look, it's a $3 million home. I'm going to give it to you for $750,000. I like you. I like you a lot. You're a great person.
Well, that's
Who
why you
knows?
shake hands and kiss babies. So
Here's this
you know,
envelope.
that's why you do that, because then when there's a $3 million home for sale, you can get it for $700K because you kissed somebody's baby 6 months ago. That's what you call service. You know, you've been doing service. That's what she wants you to do. Where you been at all this time? How many babies did you kiss, homie? Fuck saving their lives. How many of them did you kiss on camera? That's what I want to know. She's a goofball to the core.
governor. You want to go straight to the top. So my question is this a PR? Is this for the PR, the perception of reality, or can you point to any leadership where you've been able to get people to believe in what you're talking about that they're not paid to do on any of these vision statements that you have? If not, then to me it's a mute.
Also that they're not paid to do. Is that part, like, you got to be able to direct people and get them rallied up and without paying them? That's a stipulation? Did she go to the military for free, or did she get paid? Because she keeps talking about her service. She went to the military. She's a veteran. Did she get paid for all of that? And the fact that she got paid, does that invalidate her service? Right? It's a stupid point.
Because you're holding a standard that you haven't met yourself.
So if you're only going to count government service, you're
No,
absolutely
not government
right.
service.
Okay.
Student council in the 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th. Were you
Yeah.
a leader? Did you do anything to rally anybody? Did you fight for better lunch? I did in the 6th grade with Miss Harris.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about government. I can go all the way back from
You
the 5th
fight
grade
for better
every year,
lunch.
sir. Because people who are in service to this country, if you're going to go around saying you want people to believe in this country that I signed up to die for, then I want to make sure that you're holding that same
You signed up to get paid to die for, right?
standard. So not government, not political. Let's not get it confused. I'm saying, have you you did
So he ran a
anything of
business.
service that we can point to say he is a good leader, like Chris. And I'm not even a fan of Chris Christie, but he was the student council president in high school. So have you done anything of service besides yourself that has not benefited yourself? It's just a simple question.
So, the acts of service that I have performed are small, so small that I don't even want to talk about them to boast. But yes, have I volunteered for this country? Yes, I have. I've always been interested in
let's talk
healthcare.
about it. It's okay to talk about
Bethesda
the small
North. I
things.
mean,
I think
these
that
are small
matters.
things, right? But thank you.
No, well, just let's just mention
so
this.
Bethesda North
So
Hospital.
it's really a no?
No, it's not a no. It's just something I don't like boasting about. I
Well,
volunteer.
we're not boasting.
Yeah,
it's an
not
interview.
boasting.
You're
There we go.
boasting on your vision and
This
everything else.
is
I think
You
one of
boasted
the
on the millions of dollars.
Basically,
that you made. So let's just
boasting.
do it out.
Boast.
In sixth grade, I'll give you an
Nigga,
example. I'll help
boast.
you out.
It's silly.
Here we go.
It's
Here's
silly.
her example of service. This is a stellar example of service.
In sixth grade, Miss
I'll
Harris,
tell you-
Miss Harris was Let me give you an example because maybe you're confused. In the sixth grade, Miss Harris was snatching
confused.
papers from
He's
everybody
stupid.
This bitch is mean. Somebody need to repossess her wig right now.
the classroom. So me as a 10-year-old, I went to the principal and said, I'm tired of Miss Harris snatching papers. And I organized the students around getting Miss Harris to stop snatching
10 years
papers. Now,
old.
there was a consequence for that. I got suspended for 5 days for talking back, and I got in trouble. I got a spanking, and I was on punishment for months and months. But that is a simple way of organizing people. So I want you to kind of
My teacher was snatching
10
papers,
years old.
and I didn't like it. So I organized it, and this is what you think helps qualify you to be president.
I organized a bunch of kids to go steal stuff and the stuff that they take the stuff from the people in high school, like your Game Boys and all that.
Yeah.
So does that make me qualified now?
Definitely,
Like,
yeah. Me and my friends used to do hood rat shit all the time. We used to stole my grandmother's car. You know what I'm saying? I was able to
I
talk.
organized.
I was able to talk several black youth into robbing the local liquor store. Fuck out of here.
I single-handedly constructed together a group of Negroes to rob houses in Atlanta. Like, come on. Fuck outta
You're a
here.
leader. You're a leader of men. Thank you for your service.
We appreciate you. And they did it for
At
free
13.
too. I didn't even
At
cut them
13.
in. I didn't even cut them in on the tape. They did it for free. That's how you know I'm a good leader.
boast about it the way you did the millions of dollars and said what you did with the pharmaceutical companies. What leadership can you point to that you've been able to rally anybody around anything that is of service that you did not pay anybody to do? I think that's important for the next president of the United States.
Sure. So I've always been drawn to healthcare. That's why I ended up founding companies in that space. When I was in high school, part of what drew me into it was that I was a volunteer at a local hospital. I actually became the leader of that group of volunteers that actually discharged women who had recently given birth. That was it. Nothing big to it.
Did you do anything we can point to stand out?
But I want to say something about.
See, and she's still not satisfied, bro.
Yeah,
but this
she
is
wants
goofy.
more.
It's goofy. She just was fucking cantankerous the whole interview, and for whatever reason, you know, she's just being who she is. But
Yeah.
I just thought that was pretty funny, and I thought it was interesting.
He sounds good. But
Nah, he
doesn't
sounds
have a
great,
chance.
but no shot,
have a chance.
fam. No shot. Just pack it up. Maybe he's just collecting bread right now, but
That is a good hustle, though. Just being a candidate for a few months, collect that donation
yeah,
money.
collect that donation money, then go to Cancun, bro. You know what I mean? Just kick your feet up somewhere and chill, because you clearly have no chance at actually being president. Like, especially
You think if the Brown Boys come together, you think they could get him in? I think the
hell
Brown Boys-
no.
What's the Brown Boys? What's the how much? How much? What's the stats for Brown Boys in America?
It's not
I feel
enough.
Like I feel like it's a lot.
Nah, it's not enough.
You don't think so?
Nah, first of all, so black folks, what do they say, between 13 and 15% of the country by themselves, and they're not even like monolithic. There's no body politic between black folks. So even he would have to find a way to unify the vote of black men and black women, and then you still only securing 15% of the population if all of them vote for you. So he has no chance. He doesn't look like the type of brown guy that white women are going to vote for. He don't have enough swag. He's not like Obama. You know, he don't have that Obama swag. So I don't think he's going to get
In a
the white
perfect
women's vote.
perfect America, man, those are the type of people you'll see. Like, not to say like it'll be a better politically. I don't know. It'll just you'll see that type of variation. You know what I'm saying? But it's just this bullshit that they keep putting in front of us.
No, because but the point is that they're trying. If you're trying to get a demographic vote, that just doesn't tell you anything. I've said this so many times. Like this, the physical makeup, the phenotypical traits of a candidate doesn't tell you anything about their mindset. It doesn't tell you anything about their natural proclivities, what they're going to do once they get power and influence. It doesn't tell you anything. And I know a lot of people want to think that, oh, but if he's black, then maybe he'll have black people interests. Or if he's brown, he won't be into it. None of that shit matters. They all got the same offshore bank accounts. They all use the same tax havens and loopholes to keep all their money. And I'm not shaming them. I think they do it because they're smart. They understand the system, so they put their money where it's not going to be stolen, where it can grow, and they take those insider stock tips and they fucking become multimillionaires on it because they know that's the main thing that matters in this simulation is to extract as much resources as you can so you can get free of it, or so you can play a deeper game. So it's two different types of people in the casino. There's somebody who hits the jackpot and they pack it up and leave because they so far up they don't want to risk it. And there's people who hit the jackpot and they say, you know what, I'll take that comped room, send me up 3 hookers, find me some cocaine, I'm going back to the tables. There's those people there too. And either one is fair. You do whatever you want to do. But the people who get rich and they go buy multi-million-dollar mansions and F1 McLaren cars and all kinds of diamonds and jewelry, they're playing a deeper game. They went back to the table, you know, and there's something to be said for that because there's a lot of the theme park that may not be open to you when you don't have that kind of money. So instead of just retreating to the mountains and shit like that, or buying you a big piece of land and relaxing and hunting for your food and having what we consider a wholesome, fulfilling experience, they go the other way. They go, let's see how much coke I can sniff. You know, I'm gonna get me a couple more Rolexes. I'm gonna buy my bitch some titties and a purse like that. You know, go for it. That wasn't available to you before you got the money. So if you want to experience that part of life, you want to go deeper into the theme park, I'm not going to be the one to shame you. I say go for it, bro. Have a great fucking time.
Yeah, I say go for it. It makes for an exciting movie.
Yeah, go for it. Who cares? There's so many people do it. There's a lot of rich people out here who are driving $400,000 cars and they got jewelry and they got watches and they go, you know, they live on top of a fucking resort and they eat at restaurants that spin and shit like that, you know, all it go, hey, have a great time. There was a time in my life where I thought that was despicable, but not anymore. I really don't. And I just think life is too short for you to block yourself from things that you want to experience, right? Especially if you're not directly hurting nobody. It's not like I got rich and all I wanted to do was chop homeless people with machetes. Like, that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up. But if you're like, yo, I got rich, now I'll go to the strip club every night and I buy skybox seats at every game. I got seats. Like, go have fun, buddy. Have fun. This simulation will take everything from you and give you nothing in return. There's people out there starving on the streets right now and who may never recover from that situation. Right? So this life doesn't guarantee you anything. Whether you were good, bad, it doesn't matter. I haven't seen any evidence to convince me that if you're a good-hearted, compassionate person, that things just unfold in your favor. If you just be nice, everything will go fine. Like, I haven't seen that evidence. I also haven't seen evidence that everybody who's rich and has power and influence is somehow dead and rotting inside. Nah, some of these motherfuckers is having a time of their life. Some of them having a time of their life. Don't believe those Hollywood movies that tell you, you know, the poor Negroes that eat out of the garbage cans are the ones who are truly happy because they have each other. Fuck that.
McAfee was having a great time. He got a body and everything, survived it.
Don't fall for that shit. Don't fall for that shit. Every rich person is not dying inside.
Rolling.
They're not all going to commit suicide because they're so lonely. But the poor people have what really matters. Yeah, fuck all that, bro. Get what you got to get. Have a great time. And it's all the better if you don't have to directly fuck anybody over for it. You know, and maybe, listen, we're all complicit, right, to some degree. Some people just work in the factory. They just pull a lever, they steam the thing and they paint it red and they send it out the front door. There's other people who know a little bit more about where those barrels of toxic waste go. Right? Maybe there's some indigenous populations that's going to get fucked over because we need to dump these barrels for cheap. I can't blame the guy that works at the factory for that. I mean, that's a game you can play. You can definitely start pointing fingers and be like, I would never. You can play that game, but it's just not true. Right? We're all complicit to a certain level. Everybody likes what they like. So I think just have fun, do what you got to do. But these politicians and the shit like that, the shit that's going on with all of them, and Most people, I think, would do the same thing if they were given the opportunity. They would turn the blind eye because they already do. They already do. How many people you think work in fast food that drop shit and just put it back on the bun? That's the same person who will dump toxic waste on the indigenous tribe in Papua New Guinea. Same person. All you got to do is scale it up slowly. Yep, I dropped a bun. I dropped the burger. I put it back on the bun. It was nothing. I just wiped it off and it's fine. And then,
Second rule.
And then you take it to the next level where he works in a big factory, and while they're grinding up all the meat, he sees one of his coworkers fall in, and they grind him up too. And it's like, oh shit! Now, do I stop the whole factory and throw away 80,000 pounds of meat, or do we just say, fuck it, nobody knows, it'll be fine? Like, you just keep scaling it up, and before you know it, you're at the CEO billionaire. That's like, yeah, deforest those 500 acres, but that might kill the planet in 30 years. I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna be here. I got money. I can build a taller mansion. I don't give a fuck. It's the same energy. It's all the same shit. So why not have a good time whenever you can? That's what this shit is about. Have a great time. Get the money, bro. Get to the bread. Figure out a way to get to the bread and live. And then pressure test your compendium. Like I said, we're all in cults. That's what this whole episode was about. We were talking about this on Twitter. You know, your homeowners association is a cult. Your commitment to specific brands is a cult. The fact that you can all gather together to watch the same TV show on the night that it comes out and then go talk about it at work the next Monday or whatever. It's all cult behavior. You might not want to admit it. Some of us know we're in cults. Some of us admit it and embrace it. And some of us deny it. But that denial is just part of your cult's compendium. That's how you deal with it. Costco is a cult. Don't sue us, right? Like, you know, that's how I feel. It's all these little things. You're a card-carrying member. You have this elitism that you can show off, and not everybody knows about it. It's all cult behavior. So we got to get over this aversion to the word and just start parsing it out properly. Now, the cult that tries to convince its members to kill themselves or kill somebody they love so they can gain interest into heaven, that's probably not a good cult. I can't say for sure because I don't know if that recipe works. I don't know. I can't say that if you hit somebody in the head with a hammer and fucking cross their legs and open their arms and lay their body 90 degrees north by northwest on the ground, that you won't get into heaven. I can't say for sure that doesn't work. There's people who believe if you tear the head off a chicken and spray the blood on the wall and write some symbols on it, that trickles down and equates to you having some better situation or you hurting your enemies. I'm going to hurt my enemy by pulling this chicken's head off. I don't know if that works. I don't know. They seem to believe it. I don't know what the three-dimensional path is to pulling the chicken's head off to getting back at your worst enemy. I don't know the long division on that. So I'm not going to say that it doesn't work. But I'm just going to say that's probably a bad cult if it requires you to hurt yourself or other people to get into it. It's an ascetic religion, right? It's an ascetic cult where people have to punish themselves. If your cult leader hands you a flail and he says, I don't believe you're committed to this cult until you spank yourself 150 times across the back with this flail, there's two kinds of people in the world. There's one person who's going to say, fuck you, you're crazy. And there's another person that's going to say, let me get to whipping. Who am I to say that they're wrong? If you can be talked into sending your wife to the cult leader's bedroom because it's her turn this week and he's taking on the burden of sex for everybody, who am I to tell you that's wrong? I'll be like, yo, you need to get out of that cult. That guy's banging your wife. Maybe that gets you into heaven. I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
No clue.
Can anybody say for sure that letting the guru bang your wife doesn't get you into heaven? Exactly. I don't think
Definitely puts you in front of the line.
It definitely puts
It's
you
a
in
fast
front of his
pass.
line. Yeah. You get to ride all the rides when you get to the pearly gates. He's gonna be like, imagine that you get to the gates. And they're not going to ask you about what deeds you did or were you a good person. None of that. Like, did you let anybody bang your wife? No? Well, you're going to the bad place. You were selfish. You were selfish with the most important commodity on the planet.
You don't go to hell. You have to wait so long in the lines because heaven is so packed. It's not even worth it.
Damn.
You just lose all interest in getting the rides. Like, I don't have a fast pass.
Right.
I
it's
know
not
I'm
even
here
worth
forever,
it.
but Right. I'm not standing in line for 37 years. I'm just not.
So hey,
Can't be that awesome.
it is what it is, man. I think yeah, everybody's in a cult. It's that's all that exists out here is a series of games that we play, and there's no escaping it. You know, when you let it flow and you understand that it's all a game. Anything that is not directly related to the survival of your biological vehicle is a game, right? So food, water, and rest are like the only objective truths, right? And this is just my opinion. I know I'm sound like I'm talking matter of factly, but this is just my opinion and my observation. Food, water, and rest are objective truths. Like that's what you need to live. If you remove any of those for any extended period of time, you're gonna have some shit's gonna get real for you, right? Everything else is just a series of games, like the relationships that we build, the alliances we create to football teams and boxers and fucking WNBA and all that kind of shit. It's just these games that we play, and we judge other people for how far they're involved or their lack of involvement. It's just, you know, the brain needs a lot of play, a lot of space to play, right? So you got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? People in people in South LA, South Central LA, they decided to play a game of colors. If you wear red, I'm gonna kill you. If you wear blue, I'm gonna shoot you in the face. Like that's the game they're playing with each other, and they agreed to it. They've agreed to it, and they've been playing it for decades, for generations, right? Other people in other places, they're like, bro, I don't like the way this guy wears his hair. Those ain't real Timberlands. All this, you know, just whatever you can think of to make existence more interesting. Because you can't just be walking around letting people do whatever they want to do. That's stupid. We got to break into our own little subcults and judge other people for not having the same color face paint as we have. We got to talk shit about people who don't involve themselves in everything that we're involved with, because you must not know, motherfucker. It could be food. It could be anything. But this is all, every level of it, in my opinion, is cult-like behavior. People don't want to have real conversations. They come in with loaded ideas. They already preloaded with everything they want to say and everything they feel. And if you offer any information, the average person, they don't want to hear that shit at all. They're just going to call you a name. They're going to make an ad hominem attack. They're going to say fuck you, and they're going to keep moving. If you don't believe me, get on Twitter. Get on Twitter. I dare you. Visit Twitter. Find a conversation that you think you're interested in, and just go, you know, make a comment. Be like, you know what, actually, you know, I think there might be other ways to look at this. And before the end of it, you're going to be called gay. You're going to be a stupid motherfucker. Somebody's going to call you Hitler. All of that shit's going to happen. All of it's going to happen because people...
And it's okay.
Yeah, and it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine because, again, there's two types of people. There's a person who's going to look at that and go, this is an extremely irrational exchange of energy. I think I'm just going to walk away. Right? And other people are going to be like, who the fuck you calling stupid motherfucker? And the game is on. The game is on. It's like when a dog walks up to you and he gets in that little downward pose. If you just stand there and stare at him, he might do it once or twice, but eventually he's going to realize that you're not engaging. You don't want to play. But if you do the same thing, then the game is on. You start jumping around and wrestling with each other. You have a good fucking time. Have fun. It's just a game. It's just not real. You don't. It's as real as you want it to be. It's a placebo effect. If you believe in it deep enough, it'll keep you up all night. It'll fuck you over, bro. But luckily, I see what's going on with it. So we've been engagement farming a lot on Twitter. You know, we're trying to get people to come on the show. Most people, they don't want to bring their conflict too far away from Twitter. You know, you try to get somebody who's like, okay, well, if we disagree, let's talk about it. And like, nah, because you know, you get people on the same call, you hear voices, and you might actually be held to a human standard of engagement. On Twitter, I can just call you stupid and a Nazi, and I win as far as
you got time to copy and paste your comments.
Right, that's true.
Talking to somebody live,
yeah,
it gets tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody in the comments said, no one's in control, just people pursuing their own interests, more or less, and the consumer brain desperately needs to understand nothing. Well, yeah, I agree with most of that. There's nobody necessarily in control, but the human mind is made in a certain way where that's how people figure things out, right? They just break into their own little groups. They love the consumption. We all do. We love to consume shit. I do too. You know, I'm watching a bunch of goofy shit when I want to wind down. I watch shit that doesn't matter. Like that's my favorite thing to do. Um, I, I'm not. Sometimes I watch a movie I really want to see. Sometimes, but for the most part, when I'm done with my work for the day and I've done everything I wanted to do, when I sit down, I put on something that I'm almost purposely not going to pay attention to. Like I don't really care. I'll just put this on. Maybe I'll draw a little bit, but it'll just be something playing in the background until I get to the point of my night where I'm ready to crash. And I'll put on some Alan Watts speeches or some meditation music, something that I really want to engage with. But for the most part, I put on crappy movies on purpose. I'm like, what is this dumb shit? And I'll just watch it just to see how crappy it is. I watched a movie the other day called 65, and it has what's his name? Something Driver. I think the guy who was he played Kylo Ren in the Star Wars thing. And it's the most inconsequential, meaningless movie I've ever seen play out in front of me. So he's on a spaceship, right? And the spaceship crash lands on Earth, and there's dinosaurs. So
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
right, so spoiler alert if
I
you're
already,
going to watch
I already
it.
saw that wasn't gonna be a good movie. Yeah.
Spoiler alert. So you think, okay, did he go through like a time warp or something? So he's back and he was from the future. Now he's back in the past, 65 million years ago. There's dinosaurs and shit. So he lands. There's dinosaurs. He had a bunch of passengers that died except one little girl. The little girl is there to humanize him, so he's just not on the planet by himself. He's got to take care of a little girl, so he's cool. And he's killing dinosaurs. He's got little.
After she turns 18, she's great.
Oh shit, that's terrible. But
That's
you're
what
probably-
that's
yeah,
what
you're
it
probably
showed
right.
me.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that was kind of seeded in there a little bit. Like, don't worry, I'll take care of you.
I got all that off the trailer.
So he's killing dinosaurs and shit, and then he figured out that an asteroid or something is coming. It's gonna fuck the planet up. So then you figure out that he's not from the future. He's just from like a neighboring star to Earth, and it's 65 million years in the past. And this is just a spacefaring civilization that look exactly like humans, and they just happen to crash land on Earth right before all the dinosaurs got killed. So he needs to get off the planet before the planet-killing asteroid comes, and he gets off the planet, the asteroid lands, and the end scene is just all the dinosaurs dying in a fire. And I'm just like, what the fuck was this for? I don't get it. I don't understand. So he's not from the future. So it's not like a human from Earth from the future went back into the past and had to deal with the dinosaurs. No, this is a civilization that was already out in space 65 million years ago. Okay, so he lands on the planet, and the asteroid's coming, and he just needs to get back off the planet. He didn't stop the asteroid. Maybe if he stopped the asteroid, he changes the trajectory of the future of Earth because the dinosaurs never died. Nope, the dinosaurs definitely died. So what was this thing about?
He didn't jack off next to a monkey, like not like
He
how
didn't
does
do
it?
it. Oh, you know what did happen? They got attacked by some insects, and the insect crawled down a little girl's throat into her stomach. And then I don't think they ever addressed it again.
Oh.
So maybe she just carried off an alien or something in her belly to another. Bro, I'm telling you, there was no conclusion. Nothing got wrapped up. Nothing got solved. Nothing was changed. If he had never crashed on that planet, he could have flew right by it, and everything would have progressed exactly the same way if he was never there.
Still would have made a useless movie.
Right. What was the point? Y'all do understand that something's supposed to happen in a movie, right? Something's supposed to happen. There should be a ripple that emanates from the center. This event happened, and then all these other events happen because of this one. He's like, nope, I swooped in, I crashed, but I got out before the asteroid. Okay, well, thanks, I guess. Cool movie, bro. But that's what those things are for. They're for me. I just watch that kind of shit, and I just let it happen. Maybe if I complained about it more on YouTube, maybe we could get a viral movie channel just hating on crappy ass movies or something like that. But I don't remember it well enough to care. But yeah, maybe that's a cult too, just making bad movies on purpose and laundering money like Adam Sandler. In case nobody knew, that's what he's been doing this whole time. It's just laundering money from Hollywood and hiring all his friends to make stupid movies, and then everybody watches it, and all his friends get a bunch of money, and then they walk away until they think of something else stupid to do. I think it's great.
It's a
I-
great
great
way to
system.
live.
yeah,
It's a great way to live.
yeah, resource extraction. I'm a big fan of resource extraction. Figure out a way to do something that's low energy, low input, high extraction rate, right? You see it. It's all over YouTube. Go to YouTube, start searching around. You start to find videos of people. You know what? I'm going to find it just because it pissed me right off. Like, so there's an Indian guy. Not, it didn't piss me off because he was Indian. That's not what it was. He was teaching people how to grow bananas and eggplants together. Right? Okay, let me play this. So the video already has 16 million views from 4 months ago. And again, I don't want nobody to think I'm hating. That's not what this is. This is just, it's pretty amazing. If you know anything about plants, about bananas and about eggplants, so this guy, he takes these eggplants, right? This is the top of the eggplant. He sticks it in a banana, right? And it grows roots. This is already absolutely ridiculous. This is not how eggplants grow roots. And maybe it's pissing me off because I'm a gardener. Maybe that's what it is.
So this is fake?
Bro. That's an eggplant. The plant is an eggplant. And he glued bananas to the eggplant and hung it off the tree to make people think that you could grow bananas on an actual eggplant. And yeah, that's the video. This is fucking absurd. Look, and then he cuts it off and peels it like, yup, it's a real banana. Look at this shit, bro. And then he's going to go through the whole process just to insult your intelligence even further. He's going to go through the whole process. And meticulously, too. This is a 16-minute video.
Took his time for this one.
Yeah, he did. He's got his feet in the camera. Doobie, I'm looking at you, bro. Yeah. He put some of this, because you got to have some of this stuff or it won't
You
work.
gotta have some of that.
Whatever that is, you know?
Yeah, put some of that
It
in
won't
there.
work. And he don't tell you what it is either. He's just like, you know, I
You gotta
got
go
this
get
stuff.
it. It's some of that.
All right, and then we need some garlic too. This man is unhinged, bro. Look, he's got some Little House on the Prairie music playing. It's like some white folk music. It makes you trust him.
Slice is not real thin,
Yeah, real thin.
so it can melt in the sauce.
Right, that Goodfellas style. Now you put the garlic on the eggplant.
On top of the stuff that you put on it.
Right. This shit's amazing, B.
Why haven't I thought of this? This makes me mad now.
Looks pretty good. Yeah, it does. It looks delectable. I can't lie. Eggplant, garlic, and then you get some banana going, right? So where's the banana? Let's bring the banana. So you take that, you cut the hole in the banana, right? Very carefully cut the hole in the banana. And then you put the eggplant in with a little bit more stuff. Gotta have some more stuff.
Need some of that.
Put it in there. And I'm mad because you didn't put it in the first hole like a normal human. You went right to the middle. All right, then you get some good soil. You put that in there. And then what happens? You spray it. And after a few weeks, you got an eggplant growing out of the top of that, which is fucking impossible. Roots growing out. It doesn't make any biological sense at all. That's definitely arts and crafts. He got all of that shit from the craft store.
Yeah, but you don't know what he put on it first before he put the garlic
That's
on.
true. That's fair. That's fair. I guess I can't be too critical because I don't know what the stuff is.
Look at those strings.
Right.
Look at them go.
Those are definitely plant roots, right? All right, get those out.
All right, now you got to get a Hawaiian punch jar.
Right.
It's
You
just-
gotta slice
I
up
just
the banana
love
peel.
he's selling it. Though.
Yeah.
This is really a lot of work.
It is.
Seriously. Watch
It
what I'm
really
doing.
is, bro.
Follow the directions to a T. See how thin
I will
slice
feed
those banana peels?
My entire generation.
So
just
if it
because.
doesn't work, he could just be like, you probably didn't slice your banana peels thin enough.
Oh, how thin was the garlic?
Yeah.
Oh, look. No. What did you put on the syrup from the cap? Oh,
What-
you don't know what that is. Well,
No,
listen,
that's what it
I
was.
happen to sell those.
Right.
I sell a cap full for $70. If you want to go to my website,
this
I can
shit,
sell
B.
it to you.
Put those in there, then you layer it in a little bit more. Right? Then you put your eggplants in there that's already rooted with leaves coming out the top.
I mean, cutting up the banana peels. I mean, that is you know,
That's
it's
actually
layered
good. Yeah,
in
that's
the
good for
soil.
soil.
It'll break down.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually good. Not for
So
growing
he's
an
kinda-
eggplant that's going to grow banana fruit, but
Right, but he's got enough in there. It's like, maybe. I mean, he did wipe that sauce on it, and he did put the garlic on it.
secret sauce.
So he does other things that I don't. So maybe that's why mine haven't grown.
20 days later. That's the same day for sure.
You don't have the thing. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Gotta
for
get
sure
the
the
thing.
same day.
Gotta get the thing.
Or maybe at this point he's just straight up growing eggplants. Oh, it's like
That is
those were
definitely
just on the
eggplant.
other side of his yard.
Yeah, those
He's
are
like,
definitely eggplants. But he's also wearing the same clothes 20 days later. So there's that. Put some Sprite in there with some baking soda. That might be cocaine and Sprite. That might make a eggplant grow bananas. Now that I'm thinking about it. Look at this shit, bro. 40 days later. This shit is ignorant. You can see
You
the
know what I
glue
think?
on the bananas.
And it's
I think-
legitimate because he's Asian.
I think
Right.
this is CCP propaganda, and they know we're about to like collapse, and they're like, let's make the humans starve.
Yeah, they'll try.
Let's make the
anything at this
dumb
point.
Americans. They'll be out there as a whole. They're gonna find a bunch of bodies like in 30, 40 years. They're gonna dig them up, and there's just people holding on to thinly sliced garlic and the eggplant roots.
With capfuls of maple syrup.
They staked everything on it. They believed it was true, but nothing ever grew,
Yeah.
and they didn't know why. They followed the instructions to a T.
And okay, look at this one now. How to grow a banana tree from a banana.
Hi guys.
You just
We're
stick the
gonna bring some
banana in the
tropical
ground.
Foliage into the garden today. I'll show you how to grow a banana tree from scratch.
From scratch.
Give each onion a rub to remove the older husks.
Yeah, bro. And see, this is you see how they're going through all of this shit. Now I have to
You
say,
can't just put it in the dirt.
no, not at all. Not even a little
Strain the cooled onion husk broth into a glass.
We got onion husk broth.
bit. That I never tried onion husk broth, so I can't really say. I guess you know.
Put the banana into the glass, neck first.
I bet you people tried it too.
Leave to soak
That's
for
why
10
your
minutes.
eggplants don't grow bananas.
This
Right.
allows
You don't use
Yep.
the onion husk broth.
Yeah.
to be absorbed.
The aloe vera.
Gotta have the aloe. Yep.
The banana
Always gotta have the
Thinly
aloe.
sliced from it. It's the same muscle.
hollow out a hole, then with the tip,
Yeah, this shit's amazing, bro. Millions of views.
Good for them.
Time
for them.
and patience is needed at this crucial replanting stage, and it's free and intact. Large green leaves and a thick, strong stalk indicate a healthy plant.
3 months later, and this is what he got from it.
Or he's called Buddy.
Bro, listen, I'm with it. I'm with
How
it.
many views?
1 million views 3 months ago. 1.3 million views. Old School
No
Cool
cursing,
is the name of the page.
no threats of
Shoobity doobity
vineyards.
doobity doobity doobity.
Exactly.
Oh, eh.
So yeah, this is the new thing to do on YouTube. Just be completely ridiculous and tell people shit that's not true. They can't. What can they do? Other than watch your video 1 million times and complain about it. So I challenge everybody who's listening right now to make one ridiculous YouTube video. This is what I want you to do. Make an absolutely ridiculous YouTube video that makes no sense and post it and just see what happens. Maybe you'll get an opportunity to enrich yourself by contributing to the absurdity of the simulation. It's a great possibility. I say go for it. Try it out. See where it takes you. And link us to the video. Find us, all of our Twitter pages are in the description. And I think what you should do is make a ridiculous YouTube video. Look around you. I guarantee you got something around you right now that you can create a false narrative about. Make it instructional. right? That's the key. Make it instructional, make it absolutely ridiculous, and make sure it ends with results that are impossible to repeat or achieve with the process that you just showed. And post it. That's my Tyler Durden style homework for anybody who's willing to participate in this game. Find something around. You don't have to like just for this level. Don't buy anything. Don't invest in any supplies or anything like that. Just find something that you have already in your possession, around your house, in your house. Make a ridiculous YouTube video, upload it, and tell people, yeah, this is how you do this. This is how you plant an old smoke detector in your front yard and it grows a banana tree.
or you voted and something changed for the better.
Same thing.
That one. I
Same
voted
thing.
and I don't have AIDS anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I went outside. I walked backwards 7 steps, and then I clapped both my butt cheeks together. Joe Biden appeared and gave me one wish, and I got it. It came true. Whatever it is, just go for it. I want to see your YouTube video. So find our Twitters, follow us on Twitter. The links are in the description of the video. And give us some of your tips on how to do absurd shit on YouTube. And maybe we can all flood YouTube with absolutely ridiculous shit and extract a bunch of money from the system. Until we break it. Let's just push it till it breaks. Push it till it breaks. Make YouTube change their rules and shit. All right, that's enough. That's enough. I don't think we're gonna let you go. Yeah, push it till it breaks. You never know. Maybe we'll all extract $100,000 before they stop us from doing it. I say go for it, man. But yeah, this has been the Cult of Dangerous Gentlemen. We had an awesome week. I hope y'all did too. We appreciate you tuning in for the greatest think tank ever assembled. Again, we always have an open invitation to people who want to politic with us. You want to talk with us about anything that you've heard in the archives of our compendium. The further you go back, the more crude the episodes get. We sort of been molding ourselves into betterment this whole time. So the further back you go, the higher likelihood you have of offending yourself and some of your sensibilities. I think that makes for good conversations. So yeah, listen to some stuff, link up with us, send us some messages on Twitter or comment in the section here. Let us know you want to talk, and we'll set aside some time. We'll find a topic that we all want to build on, and we'll bring you on the show. Definitely excited to talk to new people and possibly discover some new things to add to the compendium. I'm ready to pressure test it.
Might solve world hunger. We've already determined weave is a problem.
Yeah, hair weave. If women stop buying hair weave, we can solve world hunger. But the ball is in their court at this point. Do you want to install a lace front wig, or do you want to change the world for the better and feed everybody? It's totally up to you. No judgment. No judgment. All I'm saying is if you stop buying weaves, world hunger is solved.
I would say too, like, I don't know, how bad can it be here? Right? Like, think about if it's really as bad as the news says. Like, shit is fucked up, everybody's against us, we can't get any money. All right, well, what's our priorities? Are we trying to get legal funds or get some land? No. We've got $2 billion to have white people here. That's the priorities. We have, like, wouldn't that money be siphoned off to do something like better if it was really that dire? If it was a critical situation, we're under attack. The specter of white supremacy is after us. We're doing our parts. We're getting fucking teachers fired for snatching papers. We're running for middle school government. We're doing everything we can to fight the system. It's like, but we need to come up with capital. What can we do? Well, I have to have white women here. I have to. You don't understand. That's not negotiable. I'm not willing to do anything. What is the point of even having a revolution? What's the point? What's the point of winning if I can't have white women here?
Right. Is it even a revolution if you're wearing your natural hair?
Let the police keep gunning us down in the streets. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
We're not going to consolidate wealth power to do anything. We can't. I need my hair. So I don't know. It's hard for me to believe that the situation is dire as some of the people
that are on Twitter and TV are saying that it is. If
Yeah.
if there's a weave war chest being filled, it's not. It can't be that serious.
Yeah, they seem to be convinced that white supremacy is the biggest problem in the country, but they can't stop wearing white supremacy wigs. They can't stop dressing like white supremacy. I don't understand. I don't understand. But like I said, the ball's in your court. You can uninstall that wig, or you can solve, keep wearing your wig, or solve world hunger. Totally up to you. And if you don't think weave is stopping the world, if you don't think hair weave is what's standing in the way of solving world hunger, come on the show and tell us why it's not. Help us out. Help us understand why hair weave is not standing in the way of solving some of the world's biggest problems. Hey, I think it is. So we're here. We're here all the time. Send us some messages, and we'll get you on the show, and we'll lay it out. We'll be respectful. We'll be compassionate, and we'll tell you that you're wrong. So just feel free to come and talk to us. We're ready at all times. But I think I'm going to get ready to wrap it up here, and I'm going to go find another useless movie to watch, and maybe I'll have something else to complain about next week.
God is a Bullet. Might watch that tonight.
There's a movie called God is a Bullet.
I believe so. You have to Google it right quick.
Holy shit. That sounds good. God
It,
is
does,
a
it,
Bullet.
it looks pretty good. And it says it's based on a true story, but it's not really based on a true story.
Oh, it's got Jamie Foxx with vitiligo. I don't want to see that shit.
Yeah. Well, he's a minor role. He's not the main attractor. It's a minor role.
Is that not vitiligo face?
That is definitely vitiligo face.
How come that's not wrong?
Well, he's black still, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, right? I mean, people with vitiligo should boycott this movie because they're
Yeah, they didn't get somebody who really had vitiligo.
right. Yeah, my condition is not a costume.
Well,
Ain't
you're
that the
not a
shit
good
they be
actor.
saying? That's the shit they be saying. I'm pissed off 4 people with vitiligo. I'm going to virtue signal now. Virtue signal. I think this is wrong. Boycott Jamie. See, yeah, we got it. I'm going to watch this movie, and I'm going to write down some complaints because I already got about 3 right now.
Don't aim him at Jamie. Let's go after the producers and the financiers.
I
Maybe
wonder
the
who they
director.
are.
We can look them up, but they should be the object of our art. He was just following orders.
That's true.
He was just playing the character that was written into the script. It wasn't his idea.
Okay, God is a Bullet. Director, Nick Cassavetes. Who's this guy? What else has he done? The Wraith, Alpha Dog. Oh, he made John Q. John Q was okay. Oh, he made The Notebook. Fuck that guy. Yeah, he made The Notebook, bro. Yeah, you can't come back from that. You're terrible. You're terrible. All right, so writers and Boston Tehran. Your name's Boston. I have no faith in you.
Or it's going to be violent. His name's Boston.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some violence. I'll watch it. I'm definitely going to complain, though. I'm definitely going to complain. Yeah, this guy's done a couple movies, man. Actor,
The Hangover
director,
Part 2.
Hangover.
Oh, that's actors.
Entourage, Blow. Oh, he was an actor in Blow. Oh, he's been an actor in some of these movies, not just a director. Okay.
Shout out to him for being on Face Off. I respect him.
Yeah, Face Off was dope, but I'll never forgive you for The Notebook.
Wow.
Never. That's unforgivable.
I
Director.
think The Notebook is a better movie than Face Off. I don't know if that makes me gay,
I don't even know.
but that's how I feel.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I'm
That's
sorry.
why he's in a leash.
I shouldn't even put it out there.
I don't even
I'm
know what to
sorry.
say. I'm totally. I can't even formulate any thoughts.
I just
right now.
felt if I didn't say it, like it would be a lie by omission. If I just kept it to myself, it made me feel dishonest.
I don't know. I have no response. I don't know what to say. But maybe we could do a Notebook versus Face Off movie review.
Put a poll out.
Yeah, which
Put a
one is
poll out.
better?
For the worst. Which one has the worst moments that make you feel the most uncomfortable?
Right. Okay.
'Cause
Yes.
how
Okay.
bad
So you watch Face Off and collect the worst moments, and I'll watch The Notebook, gruel through The Notebook, and I'll collect what's the worst things about that movie, and then we'll come together and we'll have a worst movie off, and we'll see which one is which. I can't even understand how this happened, but we're gonna do it. Notebook versus Face Off.
Okay.
That's coming.
It's got to happen.
It's got to
Okay.
happen. The Notebook versus. It's never been done. It's never been done, but it's going to be done now. So we got some homework to get to. Until then, everybody who listened, everybody who tuned in, you are
Thank you.
greatly
Thank you.
appreciated. Thank you for
Appreciate you.
for listening, for commenting, all of that. We got mad love for y'all. But I'm serious about the homework. If you love The Dangerous Gentleman, even if you just like us a little bit, find some things in your immediate vicinity. Figure out a false narrative to tell about how you can use those things to create an impossible, unrepeatable result. Make a video of it, put it on YouTube, and tag us in the video. Worst case scenario, nobody watches it and it was just a fun little experiment. Best case scenario, you fuck around and get 1 million views and make some money. So I say we get into it. So I'm looking forward to seeing what y'all come up with, and link it. Either send this to us in the comments of this video or click on our Twitter links, send it to us on Twitter, and we'll review them on an upcoming episode of The Cult of Dangerous Gentlemen. So everybody enjoy the rest of their evening. Again, we have been the greatest think tank ever assembled, and we appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I'll talk to you, brother, soon.
Peace.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen.
Blessings.
Metaphysics is going to have to be the quote-unquote religion of tomorrow. If it isn't, you're fucked. Totally and absolutely.